Hey, doing my video today. I feel like lately it's almost been kind of hard for me to do much other than these videos and go to work and sleep, which has kind of been tough. But here I am doing the thing. So today's Unisonus video was about a video titled Middle School Science Experiment Teaches Us About Life and Death. And this was Mark and Ethan taking those owl pellets. I don't know if you guys have ever done that in school, but basically it's like an owl. I think like they cough it up every so often. It was just like, it's like hair and skulls and things that are just indigestible material. And yeah, so in a lot of school settings, people can actually like kind of look into them and like, pick apart bits and see like, yeah, the the bones and skulls and things that owls consume. So that was kind of neat. It was a neat thing. I think Amy just kind of surprised them with it, and then it's like, here's the video for the day. So it was cool and it was, yeah, a little nostalgic, right? The thing I guess I'll talk about tangentially, sort of related to that, is with science. So this is kind of stupid, but I've been listening to a lot of the band We Are Scientists. They are incredible. Do yourself a favor and look them up. So anyways, I'm gonna just kind of nerd out a little bit here. They released an album back in like the 2000s called With Love and Squalor, and this album had a song on SSX on Tour. This is how I even heard of them in the first place. SSX on Tour, by the way, I am a big fan of that whole series, if y'all haven't gathered that. But SSX on Tour had the song called Lousy Reputation by We Are Scientists, and it's a pretty catchy song. Do look it up. And that whole album like has it's like a whole mood, and there's like some songs on that album I've just only recently heard for the first time, like a song called Textbook that I think is like really catchy and interesting, and yeah, they're just, I don't know, lately they've just been like really easy to sing along to and enjoy on car rides and that sort of thing, and just kind of listening through all their discography, checking out their YouTube. They've done a lot of neat shorts and videos and stuff, and like, yeah, they have an Instagram account, all this cool stuff. So it's been really nice kind of getting back into the music that We Are Scientists do. I actually was thinking as well, like, over this last year in quarantine and getting furloughed and like dealing with like a lot. Like, I know this year has been a lot for a lot of people in a lot of different ways, but I'm always very grateful for when I get these little reminders of things that were kind of good about me being able to have some free time and enjoy some things. One of which I'm thinking of, like, I don't know how, but I found We Are Scientists' most recent album, Megaplex, and I got to enjoy that, and I got to kind of get back into them, like, yeah, last year around that April, May time, and they did a whole thing, actually, over this last year of, like, if you look up this podcast called Dumpster Dive, they go and look into this. They've released like an album of music they were kind of like not sure if they should release it, or they weren't really too keen on it. And then they do this whole podcast of like each podcast app being like under an hour, which is nice, around that 30-minute, 40-minute mark. And they talk about the song in, whichever song that they want to talk about on that dump truck album or whatever. And yeah, it's just been really a delight. I've been listening to a couple of those, and it's just they like, there's one where they're talking about like Shia LaBeouf should remake Arnold Schwarzenegger films, or like just silly stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, to really, one thing that's really encouraging as well is like the guys who are We Are Scientists are like, what, in their like early 40s or something, but they still like look and act very young and youthful and playful, and You know, it's like kind of encouraging because I know like people always say like, okay, you know, not everybody's career starts at 20 or whatever, and there's always time and all these sorts of things. And even though obviously like With Love and Squalor came out what 15 years ago when they were, I guess, in their 20s or 30s. But you know, they've obviously been musicians for some time, but like they're still making great content even in that like kind of, you know, time where people kind of think like, oh, you know, you have whatever, and like I don't know, like it's just kind of encouraging to know that like to kind of like it's always encouraging to see somebody that's like, you know, a little older than me that, you know, still I feel is like doing interesting stuff that's so, you know, it's not like I don't, you know, listen to their podcast and be like, ah, these boomers over here, because obviously they're what, Gen X. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of like soup brained, and all I can really seem to do is just work and rest. And I don't know. It's really difficult to kind of come to terms with that and deal with that. But here I am. So, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.